Hi, welcome to Farmerize Stuff. I'm Scott. Today we're going to save some money and we're going to propagate a whole bunch of Annabelle hydrangeas. Stick around and find out how easy it is. When rooting hardwood cuttings, it's very important that you plant them in a substrate that both drains well but also retains moisture. Kind of a dichotomy of qualities if you think about it. What I've found is that hardwood mulch works great. I buy this product from Cushman Sawmill here outside of Batesville, Arkansas. They're a fantastic company and the product they make is superior. Triple ground hardwood mulch. What I like to do is fill up a grow bag mostly with it, and then I'll mix some compost in towards the top just to give it some extra moisture holding capabilities. Seems to work real well. I like rooting in these fabric grow bags for a couple of reasons. They're lightweight. I can pick up a grow bag and move it if I need to move my cuttings. I get a couple seasons out of them. Admittedly, both the weed whacker and little critters are hard on them because they'll chew some holes in them. But they're inexpensive, fantastic. The one downside of using the fabric grow bags is that as it gets warm, they tend to dry out. And I have killed a few cuttings that way because I forget to water them. But overall, it's a very good solution, economical and fast. One of the great things about rooting your own cuttings is free plants. Think of it this way. You could go to the big box store and spend $10 buying a hydrangea. It's nothing more than a rooted cutting. Or you could find a mature plant in your own landscaping, cut a whole bunch of cuttings off of it, you get free plants, tons of free plants. That's what we're gonna do. Let's get this bag filled up and then we'll start taking some cuttings. You'll notice that I've turned over the lip of this bag prior to filling it. It really helps make sure that it's easy to fill that way. All right, that's about good enough. This compost pile's been cooking all winter. It's mostly done. I have added some sawdust and some leaves and a few things to it, and a little bit of chicken litter from the hen house. But I think it will work just fine for what we're doing today. I think that's about perfect. Now we're ready to take some cuttings off this hydrangea bush. We're going to look for thick stalks, true hardwood, preferably at least 1 year, maybe 2 years old. And in this case, we're going to shoot for pieces of wood that are at least the size of a pencil, but preferably a little fatter. I also like to use a really high quality set of pruning shears. In this case, I've got some Doyle ones I bought at Harbor Freight. They're great and very affordable. This is the type of piece we're looking for. I think it's last year's growth. I'm not going to use the whole thing. I'll use the thicker parts, probably from about right here to right here. And from that, we should get a good, at least 2, possibly 3 cuttings. I think 2 will do. I'm going to cut off the laterals. So it's almost mid-February here in the Batesville area. And we're right on the cusp of being too late to do this, but I know it's gonna work because 2 years ago, I actually cut a mess of these up and started a whole bunch of hydrangeas. And then about August, I forgot to water them. Yep, killed them all. All right, starting at the end, the first cut at 45 degrees. This is really important because this way we know what end goes in the dirt. Cuttings won't work so well if they're upside down. One cutting down. Again, another 45-degree cut. Yeah, we got 2 very nice cuttings from that stem. These areas where I cut the lateral branches off are called nodes. If we take this cutting and trim it right below this node at a 45-degree angle, there'll be a whole bunch of cells right in here that can differentiate into roots. Very important. We'll want to bury at least 1 node when we're making these cuttings. I've done as many as 2, but with hydrangeas, they root easily, so it doesn't really matter. I'll probably just make these 1 node cuttings. It only took about 10 minutes to process 60 cuttings. Got them soaking in water right now, not because they're thirsty and need a drink, but because having the stems wet will help with the next step, dipping them in rooting hormone. This is 99.9% inert, but that 0.1% IBA, essential ingredient for getting good rooting. I anticipate I'll probably see 75 to 80% success. There's other rooting mediums you can use. I've used the liquid dip and grow with great effect. I like the powdered though because it's a lot easier. I don't have to mix anything up. I probably should put this rooting powder in another container, but I never have. It's a good way to stop disease transmission, and those diseases can kill your cuttings before they take root. I'm not going to worry about it because I have absolutely zero invested in these cuttings. I've had good luck before doing this, so I'll just do the same thing as I've always done. We'll just get this smoothed out. I'm probably going to leave this container right in this area. All right. Key is I shake off the extra, get it in there well. It's soft enough where I guess I don't need the dibbler today. You'll notice that I've been very careful not to plant the sticks, the cuttings, too close to the edge of this fabric pot because they will dry out in the summer. All 60 in there and they're ready to go. Starting new plants from hardwood cuttings is very easy. It's also very cheap. The rooting powder is commercially available at most nurseries or online. I encourage you, if you haven't, try propagating plants. It's fun, it's cheap, and there's a sense of accomplishment that comes when you've planted hundreds of plants that you've grown from basically just a raw stick. If you found this video useful, if you've learned something, or if you want to try propagating, go ahead and slam that like button and subscribe to my channel. It really keeps me motivated to make more videos. And until then, I'll see you next time. Thank you.